Ready for this?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. What's up, everyone? I'm so glad we have a guest with us today, and I'm not going to do the intro. I will let my guest speak about himself. Howie, how are you?
Hey, nice to see you. How are you? My
Same
name's
here. I'm great. It's nice to see you, Howie.
Same here. I'm grateful to be here. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So, Howie, do you want to tell my audience about you? They want to know you.
Sure.
They want to know who we have
Sure.
with us today.
Sure. My name's Howie Zales. I'm from New York, just outside New York City. I live with my wife and kids and two dogs. And I've been in the television industry for over 25 years. I spent the first 20 something years in shooting broadcast sports for NBC Sports and the World Wrestling Entertainment.
I can see your NBC logo right there
Yeah.
behind you. So if you are just listening, you're not going to see this, but on YouTube, because we also are recording this episode, you are going to see Howie and all his NBC logo right behind him there. So
Yeah.
that's great. So Howie, you are an entrepreneur. You started your company, HJZ Productions. You grew it to a multi-million dollar business. And I know right now you have a company, Veridity, right?
Yes.
Can you walk us through your entrepreneurial journey?
Yeah. So I started HJZ Productions back in 2000. I was a camera operator, and a friend called and said, at the time, Imus in the morning. Imus was a radio show host. He would do his radio show out of the studios of MSNBC, and once in a while, they would take his show on the road. So they needed a TV crew to record this because they were doing it somewhere remotely. So my friend Brian called and said, "Hey Howie, can you do this show for us?" And I said, "Sure." And he said, "Hey, do you have any friends? I need two camera people. I need some audio people." And he listed off all the positions. And I said, "Sure, I know all these people." And he said, "Can you make it easy for me? Can you pay everybody and just send me one invoice?" And I'm like, "Sure, why not?"
Wow.
Uh, and you mark it up a little and you make a little money on it, and I'm like, there's got to be a business idea behind this. I was
That's
getting
right.
calls from all these clients. Why can't I do it? So I started HJZ Productions, and we grew slowly. And when the unions and a lot of the employment laws changed in like 2000, 2007 to 2010, is when we really kind of took off because we signed union contracts throughout the country, um, to payroll and staff all these different types of sporting events.
Oh, great. I think for most people, starting their business or their entrepreneurial journey always starts with maybe a problem or a
Mhm.
need. And I think your story aligns clearly with you saw the need, you feel
Yeah.
that need, and you turn it into a thriving and growing business. Now you have Veridity Entertainment Services. What
Yeah.
do you do in that business?
So, good question. Originally, it started out prior to the pandemic because HJZ provides local crews for our clients that are union people. We
Right.
started Veridity to for our clients that are traveling in some of their crews to the New York, let's take New York and New Jersey areas, for example, to the New York and New Jersey areas. And we said, we'll take on the burden of payrolling all of your travel people. We'll train them in harassment, sexual harassment, workplace harassment. So everyone is lined up and is obeying the law. And that way you don't have to do that. Um, so that's why we started Veridity. And then we, I don't know, 4 months into the business and the pandemic happened.
Yeah. The whole
So
world changed.
because both of our businesses were now based on the television sports, which did
Right.
not exist like so many other
Uh,
businesses in COVID, we needed a pivot.
that's right.
And um I kind of turned to my network, and I knew that from being in the business that live streaming was out there, and doing TV over the internet was maybe 5 years down the road. But everything got sped up, and we got into the world of live streaming, and the rest is history.
You know what? I'm so glad that you mentioned your network because just this morning I was listening to a podcast and the guest was talking about network. I truly believe that your network is very important. You just said you turn into your network,
Yeah.
and with them, you were able to figure something out. So, can you briefly touch on that? What's the role of having a good network of people around you to your success in building your
Yeah.
business?
Well, first of all, if I'm the smartest person in the room, we have a problem.
That's right.
You got to surround yourself with people that are way smarter than you are.
That's
So,
correct.
number one, I married a person and who's also my business partner who's so much smarter than I am. And yeah, I turned to my professional network who I knew were experts in that area. Whether it's an IT expert, uh, and that's Ben, or it's Jamie, who's also an expert in directing. So we kind of collaborated and came up with a plan. And our first job fell into my lap by complete accident. A client called and said, we need to interview 9 baseball players in 9 major league cities. And this is in 2020 during the pandemic when there was no fans. Um, but the interviewer cannot leave her home. Can you do that? And I said, sure. And then I called my
Yeah.
wife because I wasn't at home. And I said, Jenny, this is what I just agreed to, but I have no idea how we're going to do it. And like I said, I leaned into my network. We came up with a plan,
Right.
and we developed these contributor kits, and we send them out to people that were in our shows, and completely virtual. We were never on site with them. And we worked with people like all different Major League Baseball players, Tiger Woods, Charles Barkley, Magic Johnson. And the beauty of our camera kits is we can dial into the computer once it hits the internet and take control, focus the camera, make sure the colors are correct, make sure the audio is good, and produce a professional looking show for our clients.
Great. So, how do you grow your business? Word of mouth, advertisements. How do you grow your
Yeah,
business?
a lot through my network, right?
Network. Network.
Offering services to the people in my network that may not even realize that they need that type of service. Um, um, on LinkedIn, social media, and through sales. We have
Mhm.
a lead generation company that works with us to help with that. And
So, yeah, I was going to ask, you do live streams of sports or corporate interviews and meetings,
yes.
or even religious services. How does that work?
I'm sorry, say your
How does it
question.
work in terms of the live streaming for,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so there's two different types of productions. One I explained a little bit ago is a virtual production where everyone is completely remote. My team is remote in their house or their office space, and we're all working together on the production. And the contributors, the people within the talent within the show, are completely remote in their home or office or hotel room, wherever they were or are. And then there's like an event, and that's could be a corporate meeting, a corporate fireside chat, a LinkedIn Live, where there's an in-person panel with maybe
Okay.
an in-person audience,
Yeah.
and then we live stream it to for a virtual experience as well. And
Oh, okay.
we provide um, the screens in the room so that in person people can see, and we provide the lighting, the cameras, all of the streaming equipment, and the team to do it with. And we can, hold the hand. We can be as much as a part of the production as the client needs, from holding the client's hand to creating a run of show, to creating the graphics, to creating the flow of the event. or just showing up and doing the technical part, whatever's needed.
So you are that guy that make sure that if anyone wants to live stream, you provide quality lighting, quality sound, and
Yep.
you help them to broadcast their message so that people can, enjoy, connect, and learn from them. So that's
Yeah.
very important. That's good. Now, in terms of, because most of my listeners, they are working professionals, most of them, they want to start a business or two, if possible. You have
Mm.
started multiple businesses. Can you share some lessons, or maybe we can call it steps to maybe
Yeah.
first finding an idea to run by and turning that idea into a business? Can you talk about that?
Yeah. Like I think you mentioned this earlier, seeing a problem and
Yes.
then having a solution or an answer for that problem, and doing it better than someone else, right?
Mhm.
um what sets what sets you apart from the other person, because there's plenty of people doing what you're doing. And that answer for me is that when you call our business, you'll get me and on the phone. And my personality is like, I'm a very personable person. I like to communicate over the phone and talk over calls, not email. I'm not the best writer in the world, so and I feel like and I come with 25 years of television experience, and we're a small business. If you have a question about invoicing and billing, you get Lori. If you have a HR issue, you get Jen. If you have a technical question, you get me. So that's kind of what sets us apart from other businesses that do what we do.
Okay, great. Now, you always, or maybe you've advised people to follow their gut instinct in business. Why is that important?
Because whenever I'm the kind of person that I don't hem and haw, I don't think about a decision for a very long period of time. I just trust my gut. I go with my gut feeling tells me, and it hasn't led me astray yet. uh, so I just go with my gut instinct.
So, what's the idea of building multiple businesses? Because if anyone comes to me today and asks, "Oh, should I build multiple businesses?" I'm gonna tell that person that's personally, "Hey, just focus on one business and be successful at it." But yeah, we are you built multiple, and obviously you are encouraging people to build multiple businesses. Why?
Yeah.
Why is that important?
So, because you never want to be stagnant. You always want to be thinking ahead, and um, you know, how can you provide a solution for a problem? How can you invest what you have? How can you build upon what you have? But I hired a business coach a few years ago, and I learned a lot of lessons. You just don't want to start a business. Start a business. You want to have someone, and depending on what the business is, right? We didn't start our second business until I knew that Jen, my wife, was going to be in charge of that business, right? So everything, she's in charge of that business. Lori's in charge of HJZ Productions, and I float between the two. Um, so you always want to have someone that's rooted in the business that can take care of everything, or multiple people's to take care of it. You can't just start a business to start it and without a foundation.
Okay, you know what? I like what you just mentioned about having your wife taking charge in one of your businesses.
Mhm.
And that tells me that for every successful business, you need a team.
Yeah.
Now, we want to learn from you, Howie. How do you build a team of people around your business? Because obviously, it will be difficult for you to do everything or your whole
In
all the time. So, how do you
that
do that?
same bit, that same business coach I was talking about, Bedros Koulian, taught me that to stay in my lane, do the 3 to 5% of the things that I'm good at, I'm not a good writer, so I do not send an important email out that is not proofread by my team. Um, and I stay in my lane. I do what I'm good at. I don't do invoicing. I don't do math. I'm a technical person. I'm good talking to people and with sales. So that's what I focus on. And I let everyone else do the other parts of the business.
Great. I like that. Know what you are good at, identify
Yeah.
your strength, and
Yep.
focus on doing
And
what you are good at. That's excellent, Howie.
because
And
every
thanks.
time I dive into doing something I'm not good at, I make a mistake, and usually mistakes in business cost money.
So I'm a lifetime learner. I love learning. I love acquiring new skills. I just told you when we started, I was listening to a podcast just this morning. I also read books. For you, what's your go-to? And I know you mentioned your network. What's your go-to place to learn? And because you have to learn to
Yeah.
continuously develop your business. How do you learn?
Several different ways. We kind of just figured out that I probably have a little dyslexia, my wife and I. So I listen to books on Audible,
Yeah.
a lot of self-help books. And I drive a lot. So, and when I walk the dogs and when I work out, I listen to books, or podcasts, depending on what the subject is, but all self-help or to learn about my industry or other industries. And I listen at 1.5 speed so I can get through quicker. And if it's a training video I need to watch, I'll do webinars and training videos. If I need to learn about new technology, it all depends on what exactly I'm trying to learn about.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Now, to someone out there, for me, I always want to motivate people. You built a multi-million dollar business, right? And maybe you have multiple businesses. What can you tell them, for them to have that belief that, hey, if Howie can do it, maybe I can also do it. What
Oh
do you have?
yeah, you just have to have the drive to do it, right? And not every day is easy, and I'm motivated by I don't have a full-time job, right? My full-time job is my businesses, and my businesses are not making money, then Howie Zales is not going to make money. So that's what motivate I'm not motivated by money, but I'm motivated to have money to live. And I want to do a good job for our clients. It's working in TV is you want to do a good job. You want to see what you've created, whether it's on the internet or on air. You want to see what you created be successful.
Great. So the drive and making sure that you produce good quality job. That's important. So Howie, as we are wrapping up today, where can my audience find you?
uh, howiezales.com. And all of our family of websites are there, and my podcast is there as well. Or on LinkedIn at Howard Zales.
Howard Zales. Thank you. So maybe in a minute or two, is there any other thing you want to share with us that we have not touched on today?
I just, I think everyone should, think about what interests them. If they want to go into the entrepreneurial space, what interests you, what problem do you see, and how can you solve it, and go for it.
And it's a wrap. Thank you very much, Howie, for coming on the show today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you. You're great.
All right.